on Hot Radio Maine with an amazing queen in studio. It's not every day I get a comedian in here. Rosebud Baker, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Gosh, we're so psyched to have you in town. 5 shows at Empire. You did one last night. How'd it feel?
It was amazing. Amazing. I did not realize that Portland has everything. There was a boomer polycule in the audience, as I mentioned earlier. I was like, I've never met a boomer polycule.
You never know what you're going to find here, and that's part of the charm.
Yeah.
You mentioned you have the whole family here in town, right?
Yeah, I have, so my husband is opening, Andy Haynes, hilarious comic, and my daughter is just there. Yeah. She's just there. And
she's living.
She's with us. Yeah, we did not bring childcare. Worst decision I've ever made. Okay. However, we're doing it. We're surviving. We're backstage. We're passing her off between shows. Like literally he's going up. And then I was like, I wasn't even sure if there was a host. I was like, I think I'm going to have to just pass her to you as I get on stage. Luckily, we do have a host going up in between us. So
it's so cool that it's a family affair, though. And
yes.
Since you're here for kind of the weekend, anything that you want to cross off the list of things you want to do in Maine with the fam while you're here?
I have not. That's not my area.
Fair.
Like Andy is the one who makes the plans, and he has like, I think he wants to go to like a swimming hole, which is fine. He's a very trusting individual. I don't trust the water like that, but he wants to, he wants to just hop in any swimming pool and sort of test fate. So
Godspeed, Andy.
We may be doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to you guys in the seas, however that turns out.
If anybody knows any swimming holes, just hit me up.
Oh, there's plenty. I'm sure our lines will start going off when they hear you say that. Don't worry. We got some recs for you.
Yeah.
Now, Rosebud, for people who aren't maybe familiar with your comedy yet, it's been described as being a bit dark, which I'm a big fan of. I'm curious, how did you get your sense of humor, and what made you decide to pursue this life? Because comedy's not for the weak.
Right. I think I'm generally unemployable in every other sense of the word. So it was sort of handed to me in that way. Like, you just sort of whittle things down until you're like, well, this didn't work out, this didn't work out, this didn't work out. Oh, look, this is where I am now. That is kind of how it happened. And then in terms of my sense of humor, I don't know. I think I started speaking mostly in 12-step rooms.
That'll do it.
And I think they just have a darker sense of humor than the average person. So what I found funny and what worked for me just ended up translating from there onto stage. Yeah.
I love that. I always say you got to laugh to keep from crying sometimes.
Right.
Because it's kind of a dark world.
Yeah.
So I think what you're doing is fantastic, putting brightness on what can be a dark life. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
great. Are there any topics, though, that even you will not touch on stage?
Oh, wow. Not really. Not that I can think of. Nothing that comes to mind.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, sister. Earlier this year, you had an amazing comedy special released on Netflix. It's called The Mother Lode. You're kind of a crazy person, I feel, Rosebud, because you filmed this half pregnant, half postpartum. Is that right? What was that experience like?
It was insane. And listen, nobody knows what they're getting into when they have a kid. And I think my doing this special, my choice to do this special this way was proof that I had no idea what I was getting into. Obviously, I don't know how it happened. I wasn't somebody that was sure if I wanted kids or not. And I really wanted to report from both sides, like reporting from enemy lines, kind of. Totally. You know, you've got the pregnancy portion of the special, and then the jokes that I wrote during that, I expanded on after having my baby, and was like, oh, this is actually what it feels like. And so I really wanted the special to cut back and forth between those two perspectives. And I'm really proud of it. Like it's one of the few projects that I've done where I'm like, oh no, I like this. Like even after the fact. So yeah, people should definitely check it out. It's it's packed full of jokes. It's and if you're somebody who's like child free even, I think it's a great special to watch.
Can attest to that, for sure, 100%. That was amazing, and I don't know if anyone's ever done that before. You might be a first, so that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned you have your baby girl here in town as well. I'm curious, has your perspective or approach to comedy changed since having your daughter?
My approach has changed. Generally speaking, I think it was already changing in this way, like just being pregnant. My first special, Whiskey Fist, it's on YouTube. Everything was so, when I watch it now, I'm proud of it. But like when I watch it, I'm like, oh, it's like Rosebud's recital. Like everything is like, I wrote these perfect jokes and now I'm going to recite them. And that was all like so by the book. I wrote the jokes. I went on stage. I did them. They got the laughs. When I was pregnant, I was like, let me get on stage and let me work stuff out and let me see how these jokes evolve just from talking and seeing how laughs come organically. And now that's how I work stuff out, just because it's a more painful way to figure it out for sure.
Totally.
It's a longer way to figure it out, but you come out with a special that feels more organic to who you are and how you talk.
Yes, that's the evolution.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Definitely recommend checking both of those out. I really enjoyed Whiskey Fist as well on the internet. Now, in addition to stand-up, you do all sorts of things. You're also an incredible writer. You did some writing for a little show. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. It's called Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Very cool. Are there any jokes specifically that you've written for SNL that you're particularly proud of?
I can't remember anything I've written. Like,
Fair.
You write, like, I spent 3 years as a sketch writer there. I spent the past year as a writer for Weekend Update. In Weekend Update, you get 3 to 5 pages of jokes a day. So you literally walk in, you get that day's news given to you in setup form, and then you write jokes for each and every one of those setups.
Interesting.
So by the end of the day, it's 3 to 5 pages you turn in, and then same thing the next day. So truly cannot remember anything. The jokes that make it to air obviously make an impact. Yes. There was a joke that I wrote for Update this year that was about Paddington Bear and how, like, Paddington should be shot and like.
Wait, I feel like I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, that was you.
Yeah, it became this like long run of like us being like Paddington's an immigrant and like it was just like he's like sticky marmalade paws, always asking for handouts. It just became this absurd hating tirade on Paddington, who's like one of the most lovable characters in movies. Yeah, and so. That was like just a really fun joke that ended up on Saturday. Like everybody was just piling on and like writing longer and longer. I was like, this is a huge chunk on hating Paddington Bear. So yeah, that was like a really fun one that I remember.
That's so cool. You started that snowball.
Yeah. Yeah.
And interesting to hear how much you have to be pumping things out. Mm-hmm. 3 to 5 pages a day is not a joke. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's wild. You become a sociopath after a while. You read the news and you don't feel any of it. And you're like, oh, this can't be good for my humanity.
This can't be good for my brain, but it's working. It's
working out.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. In addition to all of that, you also do some acting, Rosebud. Let's see some projects. We have Life and Beth inside Amy Schumer, just to name a couple. Mm-hmm. Are there any actors that you would love to work with someday?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I never think about who I would want to work with. I think about like writers I would want to work with.
Let's hear it.
Armando Iannucci is, I think, one of the best writers that like comedy writers where I feel like I would want to work with him no matter what. So yeah, I think about that kind of stuff. It's weird. I don't think about like the roles I would want to do. I just think about the writers that I would want to work with. And I think that comedy's changed my acting aspirations in that way. Totally.
But that just shows how much of a writer you are at heart. I feel like looking for those types of things, that just says something cool about you, Rosebud. I love that. Yeah. Now, I got to ask you about this recent post you made on Instagram.
Uh-oh.
You talked about, nothing too crazy, but you talked about a photo shoot for a book cover?
Yes.
You got a book coming out?
Yes.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I haven't announced it yet, so I can't like say what.
We won't say anything too secret, but that's exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. It's, follow me on all the platforms. I'm going to, the announcement's coming later this year. So I'm allowed to talk about how I have a book, but I'm not allowed to talk about like what the title is or any of that.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So it's really exciting though. It took me 4 years. It's about 14 pages long. No, it's like
I love it.
It is so hard to write a book. I really can't. I mean, it's like childbirth or something. You're like, God, that was awful. I want to do it again. You know?
You forget.
Yeah, you
Blank
forget.
slate.
Yes. So I'm really excited for people to read it.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
It's a memoir. It's like a series of essays, and it's a memoir, and it's funny, but it's also very heartfelt. It's like that's the part that makes me nervous. Is it's like it's heartfelt, and so yeah. So I'm just like, ugh. I felt so gross writing it. I was like, oh, people are gonna know how I felt.
Oh my gosh, your fans are gonna love that. That's a beautiful, just another look inside of who you are. So that's so dope. Amazing. Yeah. I'm curious, is there any advice that you would give to young women listening who are interested in pursuing a career like yours in comedy or writing?
Oh, damn. The industry's changed so much from when I started in comedy. I still think that it's important to get on stage in front of actual human people, to practice your jokes and to make sure that they work. I think that something that works online will not necessarily work live, and a lot of people are learning that the hard way, where they build this massive following and then they start a giant tour and they don't have what it takes to like please audiences, other than just like, oh, wow, there they are in person. But that only buys you so much goodwill with a ticket paying audience. So you have to get in front of people. You have to get on stage. You have to you have to make sure your jokes work and focus on the writing,
Absolutely.
Focus on the writing.
Do you ever feel grateful, because I do, that you were kind of growing up in a world where social media wasn't at all where it is now? Because if TikTok and Instagram existed when I was in high school or beyond, I would be a completely different person, and not like in a great way. Do you think that helped you?
I think it helped, but I think it's shitty either way, because now we're just aging on it.
Fair.
Which is way worse.
Which has its own, can of worms for sure.
I'm like, what's worse, being young and hot or just aging on TikTok?
True.
I'm like, either side is not great. Yeah. Ultimately, I hope that like we kind of like rise up and end the billionaire class, and hopefully social media, I don't know, maybe AI will like end it. That would be awesome. Except now, it's like mostly my only source of income. But we'll all work it out. We could be fighting for meat scraps on the street.
We'll be fighting.
Yeah,
we'll adapt one way or another. 100%. I'll be out there. Listen.
Yeah,
Rosebud, you're awesome. Last but certainly not least, here in Maine, our state motto is "the way life should be."
Yes.
So I would love to know, according to you, what is the way life should be?
Well, I don't know exactly how okay, let me just say, I do have some notes about that.
Please.
If you're going to have this many white people in one place, I would just rethink the wording of the sign, folks.
Fair.
I would just...
Very fair.
I'll be honest with you, it feels... I love Maine, I love the vibe, I love the people. I get it. You kind of make up for it with the number of like rainbow flags and stuff in the windows. But we got to be careful with the way we're wording our sign. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. If we're not going to be that diverse, let's just be careful. No, I think what I do love about Maine and just the vibe in Maine is like the second that I cross over, I just feel relaxed. Like the pace of life here it slows down so much, and it takes me a couple days to adjust. But once my brain lets go of like that New Yorker, like, grr, then I'm like, oh, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Yes. Everything can just happen, Yes. So I do love Maine for that.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we're trying to get out of that. We're the oldest and whitest state. When I moved here 15 years ago, we're probably still there. We're trying.
Yeah.
We're trying out here, Rosebud.
Listen, I know. You guys are making up for it. You got a lot of signs in your windows. You're like, we're not those people.
Oh my gosh, our Pride Parade this year was crazy. Yeah. Biggest one yet.
Yes, no, I know.
At least we're there.
I know. The only reason I can even make this joke is because I know that you guys are fighting against it. But it is one of those things where if you're bringing your friends who are not white across state lines, you're like, hey, they don't mean it like that, just so you know.
You need the disclaimer. Just so you know, we don't mean it like, thank you for defending us when we're not there. You're amazing. And there's still some tickets, I feel, available this weekend, right? You have 4 shows, 2 tonight and 2 tomorrow?
2 tonight and 2 tomorrow,
Amazing.
And come to the late shows, guys. I know listen, the late shows were selling like crazy before COVID. Now everybody is like, come on, you guys are staying in your homes. Come out late, okay? I know everybody. Listen, nobody loves their couch more than me, but come out late. The late shows are unhinged. They're really fun. They're really crazy. I've already warmed up in the first show, and then we can really just let loose and party. So if you are a late nighter, come out to the late shows.
Oh, that is amazing. Great excuse to get out of your house, get off the couch, and it's a weekend. Hopefully you don't have to work tomorrow or Sunday morning. And have some fun with Rosebud Baker.
Yeah.
EmpireComedyME.com for tickets, or at the door maybe? I don't know what's going on over there. Get the tickets at the door. Go see Rosebud. Thank you so much for coming in and taking the time to chat with me today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.